Okay. I gotta make sure that doesn't happen during the video. Absolutely not. How do I lock the chair? It's like a gear shift. It's like a gear shift, this thing. Don't ruin this for me. Hello, everybody. As of recent, I am unemployed for the second time in a year, which means I make YouTube videos now. I recently started playing God of War 2018, and by recent I mean about 4 months ago at this point, and quickly it started to rewire my brain and make me fall in love with video games again. For context, for the past few years I've been playing like nothing but competitive games and NBA 2K, so the bar has been really low, at least for enjoyment. Please don't dog me in the comments for playing 2K. Please. I know I'm white and I suck at basketball and I suck at 2K too, but look at my power forward go.
You hear me? Hit the rollie, start with the rollie on. What was our getaway car, Jag portfolio? You hear me? Hey, I heard I had some sneak dissers. Whoever feeling hot, that AR got a heat sensor. Cuz said don't entertain them hungry niggas. I wish I would pay attention to these homeless niggas.
But this game, God of War 2018, this game, oh brother, oh me, oh my, oh gosh golly. God of War is a special game about, and hear me out on this, love. I know I'm not the only person to talk about this, but I feel like it is a significantly underrepresented aspect of video games, or just storytelling in general, is just like genuine love without, I don't know, like toxic undertones. Is that crazy to say? I don't want to spend too long on this intro, so without further ado, let's get to the meat. Hold on. Pause.
I think I just fell in love with a porn star. Turn the camera on, she a born star. Turn the coroners in a foreign car. Call the coroners through the CPR. She gave that old nigga Osa. Bittersweet taste made his gold teeth ache. Make the knees shake, make the priest.
I only wish I had realized I wanted to make a video out of this game sooner, because I didn't start recording my gameplay until 10 hours into the game, and I was moving quick, y'all. I did not waste no time.
So when we get to the boat, we can either look for that special chisel now, or go exploring for a little while. I'm happy with whatever you want to do.
I just go my way, living every day. I don't worry, don't agree. Things that bother you never bother me. Things that bother you never bother me. I feel happy and fine, ha-ha. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
I wanted to experience as much of this game as I could without having to grind hella, so I could get to Ragnarok, which I had heard was a superior game. I had heard such good things about God of War Ragnarok before I even played a God of War game, and I was so excited to see the direction the series was taking, at least from an outside perspective. I was only so lucky as to share a Steam library with my little brother, who owns Ragnarok and God of War 2018, so shout out, little bro. You a real one. I'm not gonna talk too much about Ragnarok in this video. I'm gonna save that for another video. What is there to say about God of War 2018 that hasn't been said already? I know I'm a little late to the party, but guys, hear me out. I really like this game a lot. For context, I have not played the original God of War games on PlayStation, so I have little to no context for any of the God of War games other than like the 3 multiple hour-long videos I watched breaking down the lore and backstory of Kratos to at least understand how we got to this point, but I haven't experienced those games for myself. God of War 2018 is my first. I popped my cherry with this Kratos. What really attracted me to God of War was its ability to get me invested in these characters I had little to zero connection with at all. I'm not like a huge mythology buff, and I'm much less a God of War fan because, like I said, I haven't played the games. So the only thing that attracted me to this game was the story, and I fell in love with so much more than just the story, but the story is what hooked me. Unlike you old heads who were playing God of War on PlayStation 2, I was busy sucking my thumb and pooping my diapers. Man, that game came out in 2005. I was barely 2 years old. This game franchise is almost as old as me, and it's still producing peak. Like I mentioned before, I've started to fall in love with all of this game's aspects. The level design, the environments, storytelling, dialogue, character writing, and fights. I had to set timers for myself during playthroughs just so I wouldn't lose track of time and lose entire days while I was unemployed. Sorry, while I've been unemployed. What I discovered I loved most in this game was the relationship between Atreus and Kratos. The way it is built up and paid off in this game is... it's hard not to say perfect. It's really hard not to. I don't know. I don't know what the community consensus is on this little fucker, but I personally love him. I think the voice acting and directing for this character really made him work because they took what could have been a really annoying, stereotypical child apprentice kinda character, and they could have made him just annoying. I'm sure we're all familiar with the type. While there are times I find the
Boy. I told you, boy. Boy. No place for a boy.
aggravating, more often than not, I found myself giggling at his little remarks and his jokes and his sass. Like, his sass, more than anything, is what got me. Like, ooh, some of his comments at Kratos were like, damn, that... that's your dad, bro. Not only is that the God of War, that's your dad. And you're gonna talk to him like that? Like, he's got some crazy attitude. And that's coming from me. That's coming from me. If you know, you know. Plus, the way he contrasts with Mimir, additionally, just makes such a beautiful trio of characters. You got the two really wise old men, but one of the wise old men is like brute force, the other is brains, and then you've got the two brainy ones, Mimir and Atreus, who also have very different perspectives because Atreus was of course raised by Kratos. Kratos was up here. Atreus has quite the evolution throughout the game. He starts very bright-eyed and eager and very willing to do what his dad says, even with a little resistance, because he wants to connect with Kratos. He wants to explore the world, he wants to prove himself, he wants to show that he's not weak, that he doesn't need rest all the time, that he's not a liability. Because for his whole life, Atreus was small, frail, sickly. He wasn't able to put his strength, his brains, to work because he wasn't given that opportunity. He just absorbed information instead of, I don't know, being thrown into the fire like Kratos was as a little Spartan baby. And it's interesting because you see Atreus start this way, but then he quickly, I think, pretty quickly becomes annoyed with Kratos' stoicism and just lack of interest in anything. Like, especially at Alfheim. Alfheim is where Atreus breaks. That's where he vents all of his frustration on Kratos, and he stops holding back, and he lets the attitude slip through more. And of course we know that Atreus is so much more upset, because to him, Kratos spent anywhere that could have been from a half a day to a day, according to the director. Aside from his function in the story, Atreus' function in the combat is essential. That is my boy. That is my flesh and blood. Me and Kratos, we birthed him together. Who's Laufey? Who is she? If it weren't for that bundle of arrows, I would be cooked in this game. I'd be cooked. His stuns, aerial countering, ability to stop revenants in their path, chain lightning to groups of enemies, splash damage on light buildup, comboing off of Kratos, and who can forget the fight with Baldur? I really felt a shift in the gameplay once Atreus gets sick and has to stay with Freya. I was crying at this part of the game, bro. I'm not kidding. I did not handle this scene well. It felt like my own child had fallen ill, and I technically only known this child for a few hours in gameplay. Kratos' guilt over indirectly causing his son pain felt like my guilt too. I felt so connected to Kratos in this moment. It felt real and raw, and a side of Kratos we haven't really gotten to see too much of, this real human paternal side. And I think that ties into the question this game is asking, and that is, what would you do for the ones you love? Or rather, to what extent will you go to protect your loved ones? We see this theme paralleled in quite a few obvious ways throughout the story. Of course, Kratos going through Helheim itself to save Atreus, Brock being concerned over Sindri not eating enough food despite their quarrels, Freya granting Baldur invulnerability at the cost of any physical sensation. I mean, Kratos challenging an entire new pantheon of gods just to spread his wife's ashes over the highest place he can get to in all the realms, only to realize he had the wrong mountain, so he had to travel to another realm just to find the solution to a puzzle that actually leads back to the Temple of Tyr, where Kratos had to flip the entire temple just to find the way into Jotunheim. That was a lot, but I think you guys can see my point and maybe understand why I love this game so much. Love is a core theme in God of War and has been since the very beginning. And when Kratos finally embraces Atreus during the lantern scene, this game is about love, and you can't convince me otherwise, because I love this game. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a like below, maybe subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I'm trying to make more videos now because, like I said at the beginning, I'm unemployed. So expect more content from me in the future. I plan on making a God of War Ragnarok video, as well as some other games that I really want to talk about, games that mean a lot to me thematically. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.
Something lost and never seen.